week, well, does somebody want to do a recap of last week?
Yeah, we tried to be big damn heroes. We set out on our first quest to try to find out
We
what was
got
happening
Echo.
on the road, retrieve some papers for a merchant, and came across some creepy zombie-like critters. After actually at first, Tiefling had a horrific night
Oh yeah.
where she got to make the blood bond with some random fucking skeleton in the forest. And then we ran into some really weird zombie-like creatures who appeared to be being controlled by bugs in their brains. Kind of like a internal face hugger sort of situation. We got swarmed very badly in our first fight and had to pull back. We kind of regrouped and tried again with a better plan and managed to take down the monsters. We managed to take a sample bug that was dead but not badly damaged, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now about to pop open the trunk and hope that one of those face hugger bugs is not inside ready to eat our wizard.
That is correct. So you guys, I think it was Paul's character, Calist. His character is Garrick. Was just lifting the giant tarp off of the wagon when we left off. So
where was I ever?
Where was everybody else? Just so I have an idea.
About
in relation.
I'm about a face hugger and a half leap away. No, I was looting. I was finding equipment. I was picking up the least crappy looking daggers that I could find and also getting a bow and some arrows.
Sure. So yeah, you're able to grab dagger, bow, arrows. You were able to find a couple short swords if you're interested in those as well that were in decent shape.
Yeah, I'll grab one. I'll wear an armory.
As Garrick lifts the tarp and tosses it back, he sees what looks like was already pillaged at some point. Like it's almost like everything's been gone through. But there is one chest that's sitting there, and around the seams of the chest, you can see a slight glow.
Slight glow. That doesn't sound
it's
great.
like from inside. It looks like a glow is coming from inside, and it's coming through the cracks of it.
Okay. I mean, I suppose. How long do we want to sit here? Do we want me to ritual detect magic, or should I just cast detect magic?
How long does that ritual take?
10 minutes.
Yeah, we can take. I'm assuming it's gonna take me more than like a minute or two to like find the stuff and strap it to my body. So we got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, if we've got it, I'd rather ritual it to keep the spell slot open. But yeah, just detect magic just to kind of figure out what's going on. Make sure that's what's inside the chest that's magic and not the chest that's magic or whatever.
Okay. So you sit there and start, going through your ritual and reading through your spell book to do this, so that you hit it just right. And you sense that it is actually coming from inside the chest.
Okay. Let's see. I've got. Let's first take a look. Does it look like it's locked, or does it look like it's open?
So you go to lift it open. It does not open. It feels like it's locked.
It's locked with something magical inside. Okay. Locked chest, something magical inside. Does anyone have tools to open that?
I have.
I am proficient in thieves' tools, but I do not have thieves' tools.
I have a hammer, and I have a hammer and something else that I use to maintain my gear that I might be able to use. It's not a war hammer. It's just like a little one.
I have a crowbar.
Oh.
Crowbar is definitely useful.
I could use the crowbar to try to force it.
I hand you the crowbar.
All right.
Okay, so Renmer's gonna try and pry it open.
Yeah, is this strength or athletics?
Do athletics.
All
The
right.
crowbar grants
With advantage.
advantage.
With
Yeah.
oh.
Mhm.
That is going to be a 19.
Oh yeah. So you put all your weight into it, and you almost put too much into it when you go to pry it, and when it pops, you fall to the ground real quick, but in an impressive feat of strength. Everyone's like, "Wow, he's strong."
Oh. I expected more. He just kind of like awkwardly gets up and walks off.
I think Eva would have drawn her weapon just kind of in preparation for this to pop open if it was something living inside.
Okay. So when the lid pops open, you guys see a pulsing light, right? And there's an orb sitting there.
Ooh, my favorite.
Oh, that doesn't
Can-
look like papers.
Can I get a sense of what type of magic is on it?
Yes. That is a great question.
Doesn't he automatically get that through detect magic
Yeah,
anyway?
and I just didn't pull it up. So you're looking at it. You, based on being a wizard in your studies, this is a fairly common item.
Okay.
This is a drift globe.
A drift globe.
What school of
Okay.
magic that is, I don't know offhand.
Okay. Good enough. So, drift globe.
Yeah, so if any of you want to go to D&D Beyond and pull it up, you can.
I'll get it.
It's got some cool properties.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, what would I know of a drift globe then if I'm familiar with them?
A drift globe is a magical source of light. It can, whoever's attuned to it, it can follow, I believe, within 30 feet. You can have it turn on and off, whenever you want. And I believe it does the effects of a spell up to so many times a day.
Yeah,
I'd have to pull out my DM.
it says it can do light, but you can have it do daylight. But once it does daylight, it can't do it again for until the next dawn.
Yes. That sounds
That's
right.
interesting.
Yeah. It took me a second to find it.
I've never heard of that.
Because
Okay.
D&D Beyond search function is not great.
We'll have to talk to Adam about that. All right, cool. So basically it's going to serve as like a magical form of light for whoever might need it.
Okay.
For the most part.
Well,
all right.
If nobody cares, I can just go ahead, because I'm the only one that can't see in the dark. I can just go ahead and slop it in the backpack.
All
Yeah,
right.
go for it. You are literally the only one who can't see in the dark.
So
Does he just kind of like haphazardly like throw it into his backpack, or does he like wrap it up in something?
I would think to wrap it up in something, if there's something around that I can wrap it up in. Otherwise, I can kind of put it in the middle of my coil of silk rope I've got.
Is there something in the chest, maybe like part of the lining of the chest, that I could rip out so he can cover?
Sure, it's a really nice like a velvet liner inside this chest. But other than that, the chest is just a wooden chest.
Where didn't the merchant say the papers were in some sort of hidden compartment? Am I remembering that right? Did the merchant say that?
I believe he said that.
I just remember him saying it was in a chest.
Yeah.
Maybe though. Let's see.
Yeah, we can. So essentially, we can dig through this stuff until we're able to find either the papers, or if the papers are gone, maybe we can find wherever the papers would have been, like a hidden compartment that's already been opened and looted.
Yeah. So you guys are searching through this chest, or you're just trying to search the area? I would say, Garrick, you're well observed enough. You see that clearly there were no papers in this chest. There's no bottom compartments or anything like that. You do notice that where this chest is in relation to everything, it's kind of off to the side in like a spot, and it was well secured. You see over in the ashes of one of the other wagons where there would probably have been another chest in that one, and there's no chest there.
Okay. So it looks like this has been looted a little bit. All right. And
So-
just being safe, I don't see anything that looks like a false bottom either to the wagon or any of the chests.
No,
Anything that's around. Okay.
no, and like you said, it does look like this site was looted before things were set on fire.
Well, that's interesting then.
And if you remember correctly, the bug things, while they don't act intelligent, if they're within a range of, someone controlling them,
Yep.
can do intelligent things.
It's been 10 minutes since I used detect magic as a ritual, so Kraken should be back by about now.
Yep, Kraken's back.
Okay. Did he have anything for me? Did he have any news?
He did see what looks like he followed one of those those stick bug things off to the east a little bit before it seemed to have disappeared into a very tiny tunnel.
Very tiny tunnel. Okay.
Yep, like a little tiny, maybe a spider cave or something, like the size of a human head kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. So I'll relay that information to everybody. And also relay that it looks like, looking through the rubble of some of this, that things might have already been looted here. I don't see the bars, the bands of metal going around the chest or anything. So if there were other chests, they might have been taken away from here.
But who would loot them? The bug-controlled creatures were not interested in anything in the carts.
Well, whoever controls the bugs might have had them do this for a reason. So,
Well, the papers were for land, so maybe they just want to own some land, own a farm,
could
kill
be.
some humans.
Could
Still,
be.
we were told to come back with papers, and we have no papers as of this moment.
Did we?
So
did we
what
check
I would
the,
suggest
did we check the
is
merchants'
just
bodies?
making our way and trying to see if we can track down where these went, at least going to the point where Kraken last saw them.
Did we check the merchants' bodies? The 5 that we killed?
I
can't remember if we did or not.
Really.
Yeah, I guess loot the corpses too if we haven't done that yet. I don't remember if we did.
Okay. So you guys go through and loot every corpse that's kind of around the battlefield, looking for anything. Do me a favor. Everybody give me an investigation check.
If only there were handy tables for looting things.
Yeah. Who thought of that?
That's a good idea.
I haven't seen any looted merchants things.
My
Merchants? No, I don't think so. I have noble.
See, come on, Meek. Let's get on this.
My bad.
That was a garbage roll. I'm not even gonna grace you with.
Do you have your noble chart ready right now, Meek?
I can get it ready in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, do it. Garrick, what'd you get?
my passive investigation's a 21, but I got a 16.
16. Okay. So do me a favor, Meek. If you can roll on that table once.
Okay.
We'll run with it. This will be fun.
So I will roll
10,000 gold.
Yeah. I think there are some good stuff on it, but
That's okay.
There it is. So I rolled an 11, which is a sapphire pendant.
Ooh.
Large oval solitaire sapphire pendant on a chain.
So Garrick, that's what you find.
Okay.
You also find keys on one of the corpses. It looks like it probably would have worked on that chest.
Okay.
It's probably the same merchant that had that sapphire pendant as well. He was clearly dressed the nicest, probably dealt in magical arms of some sort.
Gotcha.
Who needs keys when you have a crowbar?
That's exactly my thinking, Meek.
So, detect magic is 10 minutes as long as I'm concentrating on it. So, would I be able to still have that going? And do I know
Oh,
if that
yeah.
amulet's magic or not?
Yeah, the amulet does not appear to be magical.
Okay.
It
The
just
pendant.
looks very valuable.
Okay. Well, I can either hold on to this, or one of you can hold on to the sapphire pendant. Not exactly my style, but valuable things I never really turned down. So, either way.
Did we say there was no magic coming off of it?
Yeah, I
Is
don't.
that what we said?
It doesn't seem to be magical. So,
Okay. I'd probably take a pretty close look at it.
okay.
It's pretty.
I can hand it over to her and take care of that one later.
Okay.
Okay.
I am in no hurry to pass it off to somebody else. Let's just put it that way.
I like the idea that you're trying to be tough. Like, I don't want the pretty jewelry, but really, you're like, I really want this pretty jewelry.
I fucking want this. This is mine.
You guys take all the magical stuff. I'll take this pretty jewelry over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to do at this site?
Let's see. We've searched the body, searched the wagons. I don't really think we need to go into searching the dead animals or anything. So I think we're pretty good. We can probably move on unless anyone else has another idea.
Try to track them down.
Yeah.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. It's been 3 or 4 nights, correct, since we left the city
We had.
or town?
I think it's been 3 nights.
I
Yeah,
think it's been 3 nights. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would have been 3.
Okay.
We took on the road, and then we took one before we came back to the site.
Meek's terrible night, and then Eva's squirrel night, and then
No, that was the same night.
Oh, that was the same night, right?
Yeah, because Eva took the watch
The
right
next
after
watch,
Meek.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I believe I willed evil squirrels into my existence. I have 3 squirrels in my house now, by the way.
Oh no.
I bought some spray to spray my yard down to get them to leave, and we'll see what happens.
Wow.
I killed 2 in the last week.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's been fun. So anyways, okay. So yes, it's been 3 nights. You're correct. Are you guys planning on heading back? Or are you trying to track the bugs?
I mean, we're tracking, right?
It's fairly early, so let's give the tracking the bugs a try. So, if
I
there
leveled
is
up, and I think it reset my health, so I don't actually know what my health was.
You guys had rested, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
We hadn't rested after the fight, this most recent fight.
Okay.
I don't know.
You'd probably.
I don't know if
fine.
I got hit. I don't know if I
To
got hit.
search
in
all
that
this
second
has
fight.
probably been at least a short rest. So,
Okay.
no big deal.
All right.
Did you level?
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone's second level. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So, who is going to be leading the front, chasing the tracks that Kraken laid out for you guys?
Eva.
I probably have the best chance of tracking it, so
Okay.
I can go in front for that.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
Okay. Yeah, 12.
Okay. So you're able to, thankfully, with Kraken's help, you're able to track where a couple of the stick bugs have went. It appears as though, so you're walking about maybe 1.5 miles before you get to this hole. The hole is big enough, you could probably stick your shoulder, like go head first, shoulders in, and
That's
your shoulders
exactly what
kinda
I'll do.
stop you. I'm not saying you would do that. I'm just saying that's about how big it is. But yeah, so that's kind of where you're at.
Okay.
It looks deep from looking in. From what daylight you have, you can kind of see in a couple feet. It looks like this was dug out intentionally at some point.
Okay. I guess from here, I will ask Kraken to circle around, kind of spiraling out from here and
Okay.
flying above to see if he finds anything within, anything unusual here. Spend a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, flying around to see if he finds anything unusual in the area. Uh, and while he's doing that, I'm going to very, very put on my best Sherlock Holmes and look around and see if I notice anything that stands out as unusual besides kind of what appears to be just a den to me.
Okay. So you're kind of looking and trying to investigate it a little more. This looks like what you would know as like spiders kind of burrow themselves into holes sometimes to
Mhm.
allure animals in to eat them, right? Um,
Sweet.
with your knowledge of these bugs, they do similar things.
Okay.
Anything to attract a host where they can then get to it easily and consume it.
Okay.
During this time where you're looking into this and remembering these things and probably relaying the information to your party,
Hmm.
Kraken comes back and "Rah, swamp, rah, cave, rah."
Swamp cave. Awesome. Okay, so
So you would know if you see the map, 2 hexes over to the east from the wagon site, you will see the purple tile has a cave on it.
okay.
And Kraken has identified this.
Okay. So
Hmm.
you guys could all hear Kraken, so there's that. Um, just out of curiosity,
Mhm.
take a moment to light a torch and chuck it down the hole just to see what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna throw a fireball, but I'll let you do that.
Okay. You do that, and you see the legs of the stick bug far back there. And the torch first goes in, it moves forward thinking it's a host. But then the fire, makes it go all the way to the back.
I,
It's probably a good 10 feet in there.
I'm loath to suggest this, but he holds up a little flask. I carry oil with me to keep my weapons from rusting. If we need to
uh,
clear out this tunnel,
yeah, I'm all for it.
I would prefer to investigate other options first, but I can only cover like 5 feet square with it. I don't know how much tunnel that would be if it like we narrowed it out, but like we could dump some oil on it and burn the little fuckers.
I think if you chuck it right about where that torch is at, whatever splash we have going on there might be enough to, you know, maybe make some smoke, maybe make some sort of effect that if we did find them further in the cave, we'd be able to identify the way out.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to find there, but I also like the idea of kind of blocking off that exit just a little bit. So
Yeah, what if we could cave this in so that
yeah, I was going to suggest putting something over it, maybe not necessarily caved in, but putting something over it that I think is going to be too much for a stick bug to move, but wouldn't be too much for maybe a half orc to move if we wanted to escape this way.
mm-hmm.
How big is it? How big is the tunnel?
Imagine your shoulder width.
Okay, so we could crawl through it.
It'd be tight, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would probably get stuck at your shoulders if you tried to crawl through it.
Yeah. I'm not really eager to go tunnel rat on this.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. If we toss an oil flask down there and then just block off the hole somehow.
There's probably enough down trees in the area just from natural occurrences. Some are old. You might be able to like cut some of it up and
really smoke this thing up.
yeah,
My
and cover up the hole.
My
if you wanted.
firebolt is a cantrip, so I can just start hurling fire down there.
Oh yeah.
Let's build a nice smoky fire and just smoke the little guys.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yes, let's get some dry branches wherever we can find them around here. Maybe some dry moss. I mean, if it's a swampy area, there's going to be some
Yeah.
moss.
And I'll grab a couple. I'll grab a couple of wet. I'll grab a couple of wetter branches so we get some nice smoke going on this thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'll go gather some of that while they.
And all right, I'm going to tell Kraken to go over and watch the cave, and if he sees something come out, to come get us.
You're,
and then
you're talking about the cave that's a little ways away, right?
Yep. And then
Okay.
while he does it, I'm going to watch through his eyes and see where it's at, so I know how to go to that cave.
Okay. So while you're doing that, they pretty much kill the stick bug like instantly as soon as they get the fire going down in this little hole.
Okay.
It dies like that. It was not a very big one.
Good.
The
Oh, I do have a
smoke
tinder
does
box. That's
start
sweet.
billowing out thanks to the wet wood and everything. I mean, it's some pretty thick smoke. So while you're warging, or I guess that would be the word, as you're like looking through your bird's eyes, you see it's flying through like normal forest, and then all of a sudden it starts to open up into like swamplands with less trees, mud, and like little damp areas of where water has come up. I'm envisioning like in the Neverending Story when Atreyu's pulling his horse through, like there's spots where it's like just straight water mixed with mud, little tiny mud hills, and then you see this huge cave, like a rock cave that's built into a muddy, rocky hill.
Sounds like it sucks to get to.
Yep, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it looks very difficult.
I love the Neverending Story reference. Well done.
I had to.
Of course.
Just give her a name.
I just watched. Well, I still have not seen it all the way through.
Oh my gosh, we used to rent it. I used to make my parents rent it probably bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Oh,
For years.
I mean, like collectively, I've seen it all.
Right.
Just never sat down and watched it
the entire
front
thing.
to back.
We own that one and the second one.
Of course.
I don't.
As
Was
you
there
would.
a third? I don't remember if there's a third.
I would.
But yeah, we own the first two for sure. And I went to watch it with my kids, and I fell asleep in the second one. So I don't remember the second one, other than like they get like these dream marbles is all I remember.
Yeah.
And it's got like a witch that reminds me of Narnia. But anyways,
All right.
right.
So we could.
So
So we're smoking the little guys.
Yep. I'm kind of,
Yes.
as you guys are doing that, I'm just kind of relaying the path that we're going to go. So just in case my memory starts to fail, at least I've told everybody, so we've got a good idea all together.
Wonder what barbecue stick bug tastes like.
Looking at,
you want to try it?
Looking at the map.
I do. I don't think Eva does.
Wait,
I like-
what?
You turn around and Meek just has like a bite of like.
She's got half of one hanging out of her mouth.
Yeah, like, what does
so-
it taste like?
So Meek, you do this.
Yeah.
You're lucky it's fully dead because it probably would have taken you over as a host. But
I was about to say, what am I about to roll?
I've never tried bugs. However, from what I've heard about bugs, they don't have much of a taste.
Oh, okay.
So
Tastes
it's
just
Unless
just
you
crispy.
season them yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
I look unimpressed, but I'm
Termites?
still eating it. Yeah.
Termites in the rainforest of Costa Rica taste exactly like sunflower seeds.
Do they really?
Really?
Like salty?
No, not salted. Just like if you were to get like a little
unsalted.
unsalted roasted sunflower seed, toss it
Yep.
in your mouth. They're nutty, and they've got
Huh.
that little hint of sweetness, and they were perfectly good. Just grabbed them right off the jungle floor and ate them.
Interesting.
I just imagine Meek. She says she's unimpressed, and so she's sitting there. She's like, she's probably like
Yeah.
pulling bits of exoskeleton out of her mouth.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It probably sounds like she's eating really hard, crispy Pringles or something.
Oh my god.
Like open mouth. You know. All right. So
Okay.
we have a request from one of the viewers for a Constitution save. So
All right.
let's humor them and let's hope you roll higher than a 10.
I rolled a 12, but
Atta girl.
what is it? Oh wait, no, +3, so 15. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Nice.
Wow.
I have decent constitution, probably because I've lived a life of eating bugs.
Yeah,
There you go.
you know, other than
Yeah.
the fact they kind of reminded you
weird
of like
things.
spiders. I mean, you were
Yeah.
like, yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
Tastes like nothing.
Map question. It looks like there's a road that leads fairly close to the cave. Is that correct?
Mhm.
How long would it take us to go around the road?
So now you would have to backtrack a little bit to go to the road, or you could go north to hit the road.
Which hex are we in currently?
You're in the hex 1 east of the road.
Okay, so we went one further east in the road. So we
Yeah, I mean, I'm generalizing because obviously
but
I said you're only like 2 miles off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in that hex that's literally right next to the purple one.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wouldn't make a difference, really.
So how long would it take us to go around the road?
About the same at this point, I would say.
About the same?
Yeah.
Well, if it's about the because it's so I'm assuming it like the distance traveled on the road is greater, but the ease of travel is
Right.
more, yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna take us the same amount of time. I would be pro going on the road rather than going through the death mud. As the guy, as one of the people wearing really heavy armor that could sink into the mud.
You would still have a lot of mud surrounding
Yeah.
the cave, though. It'd be
I was
about
gonna
the
say-
same amount of mud.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff around there. The other thing that you get is that we wouldn't necessarily be traveling the same path that anyone who went from the cart most likely would. So we could miss out on any signs or clues that something's going on that way.
That's true.
I mean, if we could see tracks going through the mud, if we see like tracks that looks like 30 people have gone this way, then we know that we're in for more than if we see like one person's tracks, for example.
That's fair. I wanted to explore the option, but I think traveling through the woods would be fine and probably more exciting.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling forward then, when you start to get towards the edge of the forest, everybody, once you start to step off into the muddy area, I want everyone to give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Mm.
Ooh.
Oh, that's decent. I got a 16.
16. Renmer, how bad was yours?
4.
Ouch.
A 4? Okay. How about Eva?
I got a 3. I nat one the shit out of that.
What about Garrick?
17.
17. All right.
Rolling like
So
shit
I
this
would
time.
assume that Garrick has been leading the way, since he's the one who saw it. And Meek being close to Garrick, she's standing up there with him. And Eva and Renmer, you kind of are falling back a little as you get towards the mud. And the mud's not that bad. However, when you see the atmosphere and the setting kind of shift and change, you both start feeling this feeling of uncontrolled paranoia and anxiety. You almost feel like you're in a lose-lose situation.
We're both just silently panicking.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Is there a mechanical angle to this or just RP it?
Right now, it's more of an RP thing. So
Okay.
you would feel, Renmer, and I normally wouldn't tell you how you feel. However, because of this failure, I'm going to a little bit. You feel like your honor and your duty to get these papers back is luring you to go forward. But you feel like, based on what you guys have experienced and this unfamiliar, uncomfortable area that's not conducive to being a heavy armor fighter, you feel like you're at a huge disadvantage. But your honor at this point is still probably pulling you through.
Yeah. Okay.
Eva, you probably feel something similar. More. You also feel like you don't want to let down your family. You're having like memories of like talking to your father, and you keep getting these ideas in your head that you can't fail, because if you fail, these things could take over the area.
Yes. I think you would be right in that. I think also I can see her being torn between, okay, we have to press forward because obviously we're not done here, but she also told her father she'd be back within like 5 days. And so she's like, man, if I don't get back soon, my dad's gonna kill me. And so she's probably just like very fuck, what's the word? I'm so tired right now. What's the opposite of tired?
Wide awake. Strung out.
She's
Right.
she's strung out. She's what's this gets released into your body when you're scared or
Adrenaline.
there you go. That's the word
Yep.
I needed. There's probably a lot of that going on. She's just strung out on everything.
Okay. All right. So you guys press
What
forward.
all was in that smoke, Redmer?
And you guys are just silently like having these battles.
You know,
We're just-
no. You know, I think she actually said. I think she eventually says that she's like, Renma, did you throw something in that in the fire earlier that shouldn't have gone in there?
No. I. This is a bad idea. We should have taken the road. We should have taken the road.
I feel very I don't quite know the word. I don't feel so well.
We're going along.
I feel fine.
Did you inhale much of the smoke, dear?
No, but I ate an alien creature.
I don't even know how to respond to you right now. Jeez, like, goddamn.
I ate a brain sucking parasite, so hey.
I'm
Tasted
fine.
like brain juice. All right.
Yeah, fuck. I'm probably shit. Yeah, I'm done. Fuck.
If it makes you feel any better, the cave is dry land. So the faster we make it there, the faster we get to a dry piece of land that will hopefully not be sogging our boots.
I'd like that. Yeah.
But yeah, we're
And I'd
coming
like
along the
look
most
down at my
predictable path.
boots.
It's the path they know. They could be waiting for us. They could be this. This is a bad idea. We can continue on. We should commit, but
I think Eva's starting to catch on to Renmer's actually like freaking out right now.
yeah.
Can I tell that something seems off with them? Like, do I get any like sense?
Yeah. So you guys know this is not, especially Garrick. So Garrick, since you're kind of leading the way, and you've seen already what lies ahead. I mean, you know, there's mud and water. I mean, you kind of experienced that a couple days prior when you fought the stick bugs before. You both, especially Meek, since you're looking into it a little more, think that something's a little off with Renmer and Eva. They haven't shown panic like this, especially Renmer, who decided to stay back before to cover your backs and sacrifice himself so you guys could get away. It just doesn't seem right to you.
Okay.
So
I do
knowing
eeny
that-
meeny between them, and I'm gonna roll.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I put a hand on Eva, and I cast protection from evil and good.
Okay, and how does that work
Aw.
exactly?
If the target is charmed, frightened, or possessed by a creature, they get advantage on a new saving throw.
Okay. Eva, give me a saving throw.
Well, fuck. What
Wisdom again.
What saving throw in particular?
Wisdom again.
Oh, hello. That'll be a dirty 20.
So when Meek puts her hand on you, you feel this calming presence. You don't know if it's the little bit of stick bug that's stuck in her teeth or what, but you just seeing her so calm and everything, you just feel a huge pressure and just weight lifted off your shoulders.
How do you feel?
The fear has come away from you.
I kind of like look myself over for a second. A lot better, actually. Thank you. I don't know what you just did.
Let me see. So,
Okay.
I guess. So I
Meanwhile,
don't know exactly how this works because it's concentration for up to 10 minutes. So I don't know if that means like for 10 minutes you're fine and then you're going to freak out again in 10 minutes. Or if it's like, oh, the saving throw. I got it.
All right.
I think it's a saving throw bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I'm watching this and I'm watching her get better with the magic, I just, turn and look at Renmer and I say, Renmer, your fear is entirely magical, and I've never known a half-orc to be afraid of magic. Let's press on.
The climate here is terrible. My weapons are likely going dull at this point. If we get into a fight, I don't know if they're going to work properly. Stop. I should resharpen all of them, especially the weapons I just got.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were half orc, not half elf. Move. Let's walk.
What are you saying about Eva? I don't understand.
I resent that.
Everyone gets inspiration. I love it.
Keep walking.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Let's
The
keep
party
walking.
just got really, really awkward after that.
Oh, by the way, inspiration is stackable, so you can like accumulate it.
Good, because I didn't use the last one.
So just keep, just remind me at the end of the session how much you have, and I'll put it in our notes in the future.
Renmer is 100% pressing on. He's just checking the edges on all of his weapons. Like,
and I just whisper over to Eva to take the rear and just keep an eye on him, make sure he's okay, and if he starts to bolt, just to say something, and then just keep moving forward, trying to get to that cave as quickly as we can.
Okay. She would do so.
Garrick, you notice in some of the trees, there are little engravings, like little rune symbols that you can't necessarily make out, but they are magical. You would make the connection that you think these symbols are what cast fear onto Eva and Renmer. Okay.
Let's do like an Arcana check to see if I can figure out what it is that's going on.
No, you can. So you know that it's basically a spell of fear. It's to keep people from coming near.
A fear ward going on.
Yes. Yep. 100%.
Okay. All right. I'll point to the trees, and I'll point these out to everyone, and I'll just say, if we want to get rid of that sensation, we could possibly consider just getting rid of these trees. Do they look like big, strong trees, or do they look like smaller, dead ones?
Yeah, in fact, you know that this used to be part of the forest. When you talk to Renmer and Eva, who are from this area, they tell you that this didn't used to be a swamp. This used to be a actual forest.
Okay. Yeah, I'll point those out, and now that I know what they look like, I'll be keeping an eye out on the trees to see if I spot more of these coming in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, if we want to try to take care of that now, we can do that, or we can press forward. And I think just knowing what the fear is from might make it easier, but who knows?
Okay.
Juice, I apologize before you continue. I don't think I mentioned earlier when I was given the pendant, the sapphire amulet.
Yeah.
I put that on the chain that my father's ring was on. I actually took the ring off and put it on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously, I don't really have time to actually sit there and play with it and attune to it or anything like that. But that's on.
So the ring, you would, because you've kind of attuned to it since you've been wearing it and stuff. You notice this ring is it's part of, so it's magical. However, the part that unlocks its magical abilities you do not have.
Oh.
So you know that like it does something and you can feel it. You just can't quite figure out exactly how it works.
Okay.
So you'll have to.
So is that kind of just what I gathered from just wearing it on a chain around my neck? I haven't been actively fucking with
Since
it.
you put it on your finger, I would say you've probably had it on for an hour, right?
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, as long as we've been walking from the moment
Yeah.
I put the amulet on up to now.
Yeah, it's almost like something subconsciously telling you something about it. Like there's not verbal words to it, but you sense there's magic here,
Yeah.
but you don't know how to use it.
Okay.
It'll all make sense in time.
Sure.
I promise.
Of course.
This is one of the things I have clear thoughts on, so it's okay.
All right, good.
All right.
Speak for yourself, you bastard. All right, we're good.
So you guys would know, Eva and Renmer being from the area. This swamp used to be beautiful forest. Some of the oldest trees in this forest were in this area. But some time ago, probably in your childhood, depending on how old you guys are, you would know that something happened, and like there used to be little towns in here and everything too, and it all just was wiped out. And it happened almost overnight in an unexplained circumstance. No one ever quite figured it out, and since then it's been called the Never-Ending Swamps because not many people have been able to trudge through here off the roads completely through it.
So Renmore's going through his own little like Blair Witch Project moment here.
Yep.
Wow.
He's trying to keep it under wraps now. He's just trying to like panic quietly off in the corner, just like in there, just like.
I'm gonna count on Eva to watch him, and I'll just keep looking out for any magic sigils or anything.
So Garrick, give me 3 survival checks.
3 of them.
Oh,
I get triple advantage? Sweet.
No,
Oh, boy.
they're for individual things.
All right.
As a quick aside, do you play Declaring Inspiration before you roll, or
you guys know what your role is. You can decide before telling me the result.
Yeah. I just also, do you since I'm the only person who's actually running with ranged weapons at the moment, do you want tracking ammunition?
Nah, it doesn't matter too much. Just half. The rule of half is good.
Okay.
So if you have 20 arrows, you could probably shoot them a total of 30 times.
So I found 20 arrows. Then we'll go with.
Do you want the average or each individual roll?
Each individual.
All right. I start off with an 18.
Okay, good.
Then I move down to an 11.
Okay.
The last one's a 7.
Okay. So that's the wrong order, but it's okay. So you notice where the mud and stuff is going. You're getting through it, no problem. In fact, you're leading probably the best route through it all with everybody. So nobody seems harmed for a while. That second stretch, when the mud gets a little worse and there's just puddles of water where you can't see how deep it is, it's a little bit worse. Like there's spots where Renmer like steps in and just drops because he's in heavy armor, and it freaks him out a little. When you get into some of the really deep stuff, you don't know what it is. Maybe it's Renmer getting stuck here and there, but you're getting a little more distracted. And there's spots where all of you are stepping in this water, and you'll sink a bit, and then you might get some traction and get yourself up, above waist.
Let's go ahead, and I tell them, if we're gonna make it through here, I think we are gonna need to go a little bit slower, and let's just take 10 going through here. So it'll give me a constant 13.
There you go. As you're doing this, you are pretty close to these caves that you had seen through Kraken's eyes. You said Kraken stayed over there, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so Kraken kind of found a nice branch to perch on a pretty crummy tree, a sad tree, and As he was observing, give me a perception check for Kraken.
Kraken's perception. 18.
Okay. So he sees, while he's over here, he saw what looked like a figure, which I would assume every now and then maybe you're kind of seeing through his eyes, just checking in. And maybe that's part of the problem with the mud as well.
I can only see it through his eyes within 100 feet, so I'd have to be close enough to call out to him. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So after he sees something, then I would say he finds you. Then he comes back, and basically mutters that there was a figure there.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I told him to come back if he saw anything. So he comes back, tells me that there's a figure. All right. I say, okay, Kraken. Was the figure taller than me or shorter than me? Taller. Okay. Did the figure look human like me or not human?
Not human.
Not human. Okay.
Not.
Do you know what it was? Do you know what race it was?
Not.
Not. Okay. Was it an elf like Eva here?
Not.
No. Was it a tiefling like Meek here?
Not Meek. Not Meek. Meek nice.
Was it an orc or half orc like Renmer here?
Not.
No, so it's not. Doesn't seem to be elf, half orc, none of those. It's something else. And I'm sorry, did he say it was taller than me?
Yes.
Yes.
Big.
Oh. All right. So now we know there's something big. Well, how about this, Kraken? We're going to make our way slowly to the cave. How about you just go ahead of us a little ways and look out to see if there's any holes that we're going to fall into and kind of help us get back there. And let him get the bird's eye view of it while we trudge on and slowly make our way to that cave.
Okay. From his height, looking down, you can see the holes much more clearly.
Okay.
In some spots, you might even be able to tell the depth a little bit based on the coloring a little.
And I'm sorry, was that someone going into the cave or coming out of the cave?
In.
Okay, going into the cave. Good.
Yep.
Awesome. That's where we want them. Let's go.
All right. So you travel for a little bit longer. It's a lot easier now that Kraken's kind of guiding you guys. Renmer, give me a wisdom save again.
All right. That's a 9.
Dang. Okay. You're not as bad, but you're still not feeling good. So you guys get to the cave. You see it. You see what looks like, from the cave, there's no tree. Like, you see probably where Kraken was perched, but then, like, as you get closer to the cave, there's just no life. Nothing whatsoever. It's just mud. It's not even the water anymore. It's just, like, mud all the way up to the cave. And you can see what looks like footprints, what looks like a long, almost like a snake-like path near the footprints as well. They kind of just go with the footprints into the cave.
That can't be good.
Okay. That's awesome. Would I have any clue what that trail might be?
Give me a nature check.
Let's do nature. 18?
Okay. Yeah, so you would know it is a large creature. It's kind of like a troll, but it's got like a long tail, and so the snake-like markings are from its tail. It's got claws, big teeth. Would be known to live in swamps like this.
Okay, I relay this information.
But the cave appears to be like solid ground.
Yes, and the cave is actually a bit small. for a creature like this.
Sounds like
Okay.
a fucking dinosaur.
But the when you say it's a bit small for a creature like this, we would fit in it comfortably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Garrick is explaining this to you, and you guys have probably heard of this creature before, or at least of its legends, right? Being from the area and this land being like this for so long, close to 20 years. So this creature typically does not live in caves. It's usually outside and things like that. This creature is about 10 feet tall. This cave is probably about 8 feet tall at the opening.
So it's either a young one, a small one, or it's squeezing in there. All right. Renmore's still twitchy, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's turning to Eva and says, "Do you remember what my father used to say about fighting in swamps?"
Reminds
do
me.
it.
Yes, that was the primary part. But if you must cross a swamp, you must do it as quickly as possible. We should go now. We are dangerously exposed here. If this creature were to come out, we would be stuck in bad ground.
Right.
It's better to confront it on the dry land up there than down here in the mud. Renmore's going to start moving forward.
Glad to see you're not so apprehensive.
He's starting to go. He's not running, but he's like flopping forward, starting to cross the thing.
Meek
I'm-
is fine.
I'm
I'm
going
totally
to-
on board
alright.
with you. Like, I don't like this either, and I'm like not scared. I'm just like,
I feel like Meek just
that's
like
a
runs
big
up
creature. Yeah,
I feel like Meek just like
So-
runs up and jumps on his back and is like, "Let's go!"
sure.
Juice?
yeah.
Yes.
Do I know what one of these things looks like?
Yeah. So it's got like a snout kind of.
Okay.
Claws. It does try to, it doesn't wear clothes. It's kind of like more of a monster.
I'm gonna pull my best recollection of it
Yep.
and try to make a basically in the path that he's going, look ahead and find a tree, and I'm going to make a minor illusion, and I'm gonna do it in his path on the way there, and I'm going to just do it right in the middle of the way that he's walking and have it look like there's one peeking out and then popping behind.
to Renmer.
So he sees, like, the way he's going, he sees
Mhm.
one of those things.
Yeah. So these trees aren't very big, so this is gonna be great. So,
Or
so
just rise, could be rising up out of the swamp wherever I see that there's some
Perfect.
cover.
I like
something
that.
like that.
So imagine like Rambo coming up out of water, except it's not Rambo. It's this giant 10-foot like dinosaur crocodile troll face with these teeth and saliva.
And-
It's like a greenish gray, and its claws are probably the whole size of your abdomen.
And I will say, I think the cave's looking pretty safe right now.
Longbow out. Fire.
It's all right.
And I just scream. "Ah!"
You twitchy bastard.
Natural 20.
So when you shoot it,
Fucking
because this is
did.
what happens,
Son of a
the
bitch.
illusion goes away, right? Isn't that
What?
how that works?
I think if something goes through it, he can disbelieve it. Let me see here really quick.
Go ahead and subtract 1 arrow off my equipment because that thing's like buried in mud.
Gone. Yep.
Let's see.
That was great.
I'm really, really glad I rolled a natural 20 on that. That's great. I burned one of my natural 20s on that.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't hit the armor class, I was gonna have it miss completely.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm rolling damage just for funsies.
It just says things can pass through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it reveals it to be an illusion that passes through it. So you can see it's an illusion. And then I say, see, nothing to be afraid of. It's just magic. Now stop being scared. Let's move.
All right. So what is your guys'
turn back,
plan
like,
with the cave?
I was already moving. I don't.
Into the
Renmer was
cave.
moving towards the cave. I thought.
I was going to
right?
the cave.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going away from the cave, not into the cave.
I was moving across the open field into the cave.
I thought he was saying he was going across the field. Like I thought he was running through the swamps, like to get away from the cave. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
he's
No, like,
he's not going to be strategic about this. Let's just go fight. Let's just get it over with. Let's just go fight.
Okay.
Let's just go fight.
Go fight. Good. I thought you were chickening out for some reason. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
No,
It's
I
okay.
even-
Garrick sees the panic on Renmer's face and tries to like calm him down with an illusion. We'll just think of that, right?
Yep, sure.
Just to keep him in line with everybody so he's not running too far ahead. And it does slow Renmer down as he stops to draw his bow.
Yeah.
And so everyone else can kind of keep up with Renmer.
Yep.
I had even said, it's good that you're not so apprehensive anymore.
Yep.
As he was like storming up, and then all of a sudden, bam, this thing in behind a tree.
So the chaos that has been going on, I would imagine like there's just noise from like Renmer running in the mud, like and like Garrick saying, "Stop being afraid, let's just go." And like, you know, all this is going on right outside of this cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone roll initiative.
Son of a bitch.
Wait,
Made everything.
I said I jumped on Renmer's back, so am I starting this on your back?
I am having the most consistent game I think I've ever had. I
Did
got
you
another
just roll
18.
another 18?
I did.
I've rolled my third 9 of the night, I think.
That's good.
That is my second or my third 9. Yeah.
That's really good for me.
Fourth 18. So
15 for Eva.
15 as well for Meek.
You had 15, Meek?
Mm-hmm.
So Eva and Meek both had 15. What's your dexterity?
15 plus 2.
Okay, I've got the better dex.
Okay.
Renmer, what'd you get? You said
9.
a 9? Okay.
Yeah.
So the order will be Garrick, Eva, Meek, me, and then Renmer. So Garrick, you see this creature that's kind of like in the mouth of the cave watching you guys, and it's like crouched over, like imagine like a frog almost.
Okay.
But when you look at it, it appears to have like an appendage coming out of its ribs that is like long and stringy, probably like a 4-foot long extra limb. And when you look at its eyes, the eyes are they almost look like cataracts. They just it's
whited
almost
over.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that sort of look in the eyes of things possessed by the deep. So
How far away is it?
Probably about 60 feet right now.
And is it difficult terrain?
Yes.
Okay.
It's mud. Yep.
Okay.
That's 4 move actions. All right.
Okay, so let's do this. From what I know, that the base creature, okay, does this look different than the base creature?
Yes.
Okay, so
They never have extra limbs.
Is the base creature intelligent, or are they a very simple animal?
Yeah, they're fairly intelligent. I mean,
not people intelligent, but are they
correct?
Okay.
Yeah, like maybe like chimpanzee intelligent.
Okay, so let's do this just to start off. I kind of want to hold off on doing anything too drastic. Let's just go ahead and does it look like it's seen me and it's noticed me? All that stuff?
Oh, it's watching all of you.
Okay.
You would remember this look in the eyes as very similar to the mercenaries before.
Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and start off with a firebolt.
Okay.
So that's a 24.
Oh yeah, you hit.
Okay. And then damage, 5 points of fire.
Okay. Yep, you scold it. And so you guys see in the mouth of the cave this thing sitting there when it gets lit up with a firebolt, and it hits it, and it just kind of takes it. Doesn't react to it, but you can see the scorch mark.
Okay.
Next up would be Eva. What are you doing?
This thing looks fucking gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I have a thing. I just don't. I haven't quite figured out how to do it in D&D Beyond.
Okay.
If I need a spell card without actually using it,
if you click it, it doesn't tell you the description of it.
Oh. I feel really dumb.
You're not dumb. You just didn't try it yet.
It's
Okay.
new.
It's new.
No, I mean,
Okay. So, again, like last time, she doesn't know that she can do magic.
Right.
She still doesn't know how she was able to heal the slice into her arm from earlier. I have compelled duel,
Oh no.
and you tell me, like, all it is a verbal component, and it's a bonus action. So like
Taunt it.
if she like taunts it, would you like
Yeah.
mechanically let me cast that?
So
without
like as you're
realizing
doing
that's what
it, maybe
is?
you don't see it, but like
Yeah.
maybe there's like a sudden like glow of like sound waves quickly out of your mouth that maybe others like Garrick would notice, but you wouldn't.
Okay, so do me a favor and kind of describe this thing again.
So it's kind of hunched over, and it's got this extra like tentacle limb thing that's coming out of its rib cage, and it just got scorched, and it's got this long snout with like teeth, and its tail is just dragging on the ground behind it, and it's just staring at you guys.
Is there an animal that comes to mind?
Probably like a cross between like a short snouted crocodile and a hairless ape, maybe.
Okay. So, knowing that this thing is probably upset that it just got roasted,
Right.
I think Eva's gonna storm forward a bit. How far is it from us?
I think I said 60 feet in difficult terrain.
Okay. So I'm gonna go forward as much as I can, which, if this is difficult terrain, will be 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm gonna do. Mechanically, I'm gonna cast Compelled Duel. RP wise, it's just, hey, you stupid big dumb ape, come get some.
It feels compelled to come at you. It locks onto you, and you feel its gaze, right? You see the lack of life in its eyes as it kind of locks onto you.
Yeah.
And you kind of stop after moving 15 feet. And then, Meek, what are you doing?
I will jump off of Renmer's back. And I will back up 15 feet and cast Firebolt.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Maybe. So I rolled a 3, but I'm gonna use my
Inspiration?
favored.
Oh.
I could use inspiration. I was gonna use. Well, I was going with this first. I'm gonna use favored by the gods.
Okay.
Which I can add 2d4.
Mm.
So let's see.
That's a really cool ability.
Yeah, it is. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Misses.
Ah.
So you just missed, but when you miss, you see your firebolt go like off into the cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cave looks like it's actually fairly deep. So you get some insight into the cave there. It is now his turn. So he's unfazed by the firebolt that like whizzes by his head. I mean, it was close, and he didn't even flinch. And he starts running at Eva. Now, this thing has these longer webbed claw feet that work really well on the mud. And he's coming at you full bore, like Jason Momoa, running on a beach. It just looks very natural, right?
Right.
He closes the distance of 45 feet on you.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not
he's
good.
quick. But when he goes to claw you, he rolls a nat 1 to hit. But the force of his claw, just so you know, would have been 12 damage as he slashes at you, misses, and puts a huge, like kid-sized pool indent into the mud next to you.
Jesus fuck.
As he face plants prone.
He's prone?
Yeah, he rolled a crit fail. So.
Ooh.
Oof. Shit.
And then it is Renmer's turn.
Well, swords out. Are we going both swords out or just one sword out?
You can do both if you want.
Okay, so I'm running up. I'm because I'm assuming Eva wasn't. I was the furthest far out, so I'm assuming Eva wasn't that far ahead of me.
Yeah, you 15 feet.
So I'm coming up on this thing, and the anxiety is transitioning into he normally doesn't fight like orc raging,
Yes.
but like lets out an orc roar, and he's taking a slice at this thing on the ground.
Okay.
Nice.
That is a where's my plus? That's an 18 to hit on the first one. And that is 10 damage. And then offhand sword.
And you have advantage, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Offhand sword is going to be 17 to hit.
Yep.
And that is going to be another 9 damage. And then I'm going to action surge because he's just letting all this nervous energy out now that he can hit something. And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, nat 20 or no?
Dirty 20. I wish. I'm a half orc. Like the whole thing I need to do is crit, and I'm not critting. And that's 8 damage.
Hey, credit against that illusion real good, okay?
I murdered that illusion.
So you do some good damage on him. You actually managed to cut this tentacle appendage thing off. And you notice it looks a lot like those bug creatures before, but much larger. It's like one of the limbs off of one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, I'm imagining I come up and I go through like one of my like cutting, like one of like the 3 cut things that I do, just like it's cutting practice, and I just roar at it, and it's just like, I feel better.
When you cut that appendage off, it gives out this loud screech. Similar to like the war cry that you heard from the ones before in the mud battle. All right. Paul. Or Garrick, sorry.
Okay. So I'm looking at Kraken, and I say, Kraken, let's see if you can help them. When this thing gets up, it's gonna be trouble. So I send Kraken off to give the help action, and we will switch over to Toll the Dead.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and give him a DC 14 Wisdom save.
11.
Okay. 8 points of necrotic damage, and he hears the tolling and ringing of his death bells.
Okay. So before, when this happened to the other ones, you noticed that the bugs left the bodies, right? This one does not do that. This one, you can see from what's left of the appendage, it kind of like vibrates out of the rib cage area, but does not try to leave the body, it seems.
Okay.
All right.
Now, If there is an appendage sticking out, could I possibly target the creature that's inside?
Sure.
Okay.
So what I would do is you could do a called shot at disadvantage.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, if it's that spell, then that creature would do the save. So you could give the
Right.
creature a save at advantage then.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So you mean with that spell, you would target that in particular?
Yeah.
So they're sharing like one brain at this point.
Okay.
That's just kind of how these parasites work. So you
right.
wouldn't have to do that necessarily. Okay. So next is Eva.
I'm starting to understand what this may or may not be, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think at first I thought maybe this thing was just like some massive stick bug. But if it's just got the... You're nodding.
Yeah, you're good. Keep going. I'm listening.
Ugh! I don't like this! Alright. Is it still prone?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow, that was, that works a little better than I thought.
Like, he's kind of getting up, but he's still down on a knee. Yep. Like, I would still count him prone mechanically.
Okay. In that case, I would like to stab it with that stabby thing.
Okay.
Stabbing stick.
Yeah.
Use that stabbing stick.
Oh, that's a 24.
Nice. Okay.
And you have advantage, so if you don't have a nat 20, you can roll again because he's prone.
Was it
See?
a nat 20?
Just kidding, it was a nat 1.
Aw,
Okay.
still critical.
I was so excited.
I know. That would have been
awesome.
awesome. That would have been awesome. So 24 to hit, and that's going to be a D8. That is a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Whew.
Nice.
All right. So you stabby and knock him right back down onto his stomach.
Yeah.
And then he's still moving, though.
Okay.
How
Meek?
messed up is this thing looking?
Bad. Like, its whole rib cage is probably exposed at this point
Oh.
from the different cuts.
That's disgusting.
And this, and the skin, I mean, it came off pretty easily. I mean, this is a pretty much a corpse at this point, and before you guys got to it, kind of. In fact, the stench is just awful.
Bad.
Yeah, and only Eva and Renmer can smell it at this point because they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Meek.
Firebolt.
All right. It is disadvantage, but with the advantage, we'll say it's just a straight roll because he's prone and it's a ranged spell.
How far away is it from me?
You said you moved 15 feet back, so 30 feet?
Yeah. So I can't even get to it. Yeah, so I'll just stick with that. So just straight roll.
Okay.
18 plus stuff.
Oh, yeah, you hit.
Okay. I'm bad at math. Sorry I do that. Hopefully it's fine.
No, you're fine.
But it's better than waiting
We
a
all
minute
do it.
for
It's
me
like
to
I
figure
rolled
it out.
I rolled a 19
Yeah.
on the dice. I'm assuming this hits.
So that's 4 points of fire damage.
All right, so you hit him as he's down, and you scorch what little bit of like furry hair kind of runs like a mohawk down its head and back. Imagine like an 80s mullet. No, just kidding.
Oh God.
Fun. Yeah.
All right, so it is his turn, and this is so glorious. Okay. Renmer.
Does it suffer any penalties from compel duel?
Yeah, is he at
attacking me.
disadvantage? Right?
Good question.
I'm not super familiar with that spell.
On a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine command for the duration, up to a minute. It has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you. Must make a wisdom save each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you.
Okay, so he's not going to move, but he will be at disadvantage. But because Renmer like hit him like 4 times and cut one of his appendages off, he becomes the obvious target.
I have that background, people.
Okay, so his first attack is a critical fail. So he does the same thing he did before. I just want you to know it would have been 19 points of damage into the mud. His second attack.
Fine.
All right, that's more like it. 17.
17 just
Oof.
hits.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Okay, so this isn't too bad. It's only 11 points of damage.
Okay.
So he swings with his claw, face plants, gets back up very quickly, and comes back at you with the other claw. When he scratches you, part of his claw gets your chin and neck, and then your chest armor.
All right.
Mm.
Just look down. I'm like,
Yeah,
that armor is new.
The other thing. So, Eva, give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
What do we got, Eva?
Hold on. I was reading more into the spell, which I haven't attacked any other creature, but it does specify if a creature friendly to you damages the target or casts a harmful spell on it.
It removes that.
Yeah.
Oh. So
That changes things.
Yes, it does. So
it changes my total hit points.
it changes his disadvantage roll.
Yeah, no, but so let's say you hit me for 19 on the first one.
I won't count that. I won't count that first one. I'm just gonna re-roll it.
Okay.
Okay. So 17 to hit.
Just hits again.
Hits.
20 points of damage.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Relentless endurance. I'm at 1 hit point.
Yes.
Wow.
That didn't
So
insta kill. That did not insta kill me. So
he
I am at 1
blasts
hit
you
point.
right in the face. It probably knocks you prone, obviously, because you get knocked down. But then
Yeah.
you've got your relentless endurance.
Mhm.
So you're kind of like, holy
my
cow, what a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sweet. Okay.
That was sweet. No.
All right. So I'm not going to re-roll the second one because I don't want to risk critting you. You know, I'm going to be nice. And I'm satisfied with the damage it did there. So it is Renmer's turn, though.
Hold on.
He's gonna
17, 18, 19. That was a dirty
All right.
20 for the wisdom save.
And
Oh,
by the way,
yeah.
now that he's not prone, Kraken comes in to lend his help action. So you get these attacks at advantage.
Yeah, he's gonna just like stick the short sword in the ground, like force himself up.
Forgot. Sorry. So from the cave, Eva sees a creature that is clearly casting some kind of magic towards her. But she's
Towards
able to.
me?
Yes. You don't know what it was. This was your wisdom save, by the way.
Oh.
And so you were able to like shrug it off, but you now know that there's something from the mouth of the cave.
Okay.
Yep. So now we're at Renmer. Sorry.
All right, so short sword in the dirt, just force myself up, spit blood out, and then I'm gonna swing my long sword at this thing because it looks like it's almost gone, right?
Yeah. He's.
And I get advantage because the bird is swooped in to help.
Yep.
Natural 20.
Add up.
Oh.
Yeah!
Nice.
So... Ooh.
Fuck it up, bitch. Fuck it
all right.
up.
That is 24 damage.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
half
You
orced the hell
go
out of
ahead.
this
Describe
round.
it.
Huh?
Describe it however you want.
I just like
How do you
stop,
wanna do
spit
this?
it out, and then just like drive the blade directly into its eye. Point first,
Nice.
all the way to the hilt.
As soon as you do it, like its arms kind of flutter out, and it's like, "Arr!" And then it just goes lifeless.
And then, since we still are in combat, I'm assuming
Yep.
bonus action, second wind, and I'm gonna heal.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I rolled a 2. I regained 4 hit points.
Oh.
Ah. No.
All right.
It's better than 1 hit point.
That
There you go.
is true.
Yeah, I used both the major half orc features in that round. I half orced the hell out of that turn.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, and then I'm just like kind of like half crouched, just bleeding and kind of just like that. I'm not gonna move this turn.
Okay, so next is Garrick. So Garrick, you see what looks like the creature that Meek had originally had a spell or had her hand cut by at the mouth of the cave.
Oh, I don't like that.
Ah,
I don't want
so
that.
I see that thing that she described, huh?
Oh yeah, you feel like this thing is probably it. It's holding a staff that looks like it has a wooden-looking skull thing on the edge, or on the end of it. It's got a slight blue glow in its eyes.
Okay. Do I have any idea what it is? Is it like an undead, or does it just look to be some sort of unusual creature? Is it someone dressed up in a costume? I mean, what can I tell from it?
Sure. Do an Arcana check, and if you roll high enough, you'll know what it is.
Sure. Oh man, one of my best skills. I got a 9.
Oh, you don't want to use advantage?
Use my inspiration? Sure,
Yeah.
let's do it again. 17.
Okay. This looks like a Druid Lich.
That sounds.
What?
That's right.
Okay.
Holy hell.
Wow. Okay.
If anything sounded like a hive mind, a Druid Lich sounds like a hive mind.
Yeah.
But that's just
right.
me.
I basically decide that this thing could be very dangerous if it's casting spells, and decide to try to at least incapacitate it so that we can we have some time to react. So give it a DC 14 Wisdom save. Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
What was the number it has to beat?
DC 14. I mean, it's a Druid Lich, so it seems like that's one of its best saves, but it's a chance.
It barely does not make it. I rolled a 4 on the die, but it was close.
Giving a Lich the case of the giggles.
So it is prone, incapacitated, unable to stand up, laughing maniacally for the next minute as long as I concentrate on this spell.
So it's probably less of a laugh, right? It's probably, you can hear its jaw just clattering together, like those teeth, like at the gimmick stores. And that's what its laughter sounds like.
Okay, so and then at the end of its turn, and each time it takes damage, it can make another save. So I shout out to them, I've got it incapacitated, but I can't hold it long. Get up there and everybody attack it while it's down. Let's attack it together.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
So that's it, and then I will start moving up closer to the cave.
Okay. So you can move about 15 feet, so you're now about 45 feet away.
Okay.
It is now Eva's turn.
You said 45 feet?
Yes, you are 45 feet right now. Yep.
Okay. I can't remember how dash works.
It's double your movement. So you could move 30 feet if you use dash. But it uses your action.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that. What?
You got any of those? Any more of them healing hands?
I do, but again, I don't know how it worked. So.
Is it a bonus action?
Healing hands?
Or lay on hands?
It's probably lay on hands.
Yeah.
I can throw a healing word your way, but it's not the best heals. But it'll get you higher up.
Yeah.
At least +4, so.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't know what that is yet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fine.
Okay. So yeah, Eva will use the dash action to get closer to this thing.
Okay. So you're able to close the distance to 15 feet. Next up would be Meek. You are about 75 feet away from this thing. Actually, yeah, 75 feet away from this thing.
Okay, I'll move 15 feet forward, my movement. I'll throw a healing word at Renmer. So
Okay.
roll
That's a
for
bonus
that.
action.
Oh, hey, Max. So 8.
Nice.
8 points.
Nice.
That helps quite a bit.
Then lastly, I'll throw a firebolt toward this guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay. So, yeah.
So that is 18 to hit.
You barely hit.
Oh, that's
so you
not
hit
good.
it, probably in its leg. How much damage?
Let me roll that. Oh, it fell on my keyboard. 8 points of damage.
Okay. So you scorch its leg. Does that do anything to Tasha's hideous laughter, Garrick? Or no?
Oh.
It gets
Oops.
to make a saving throw again. So let me pull it up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I maybe should.
If it has advantage on it because it's triggered by damage. Yeah, that's why the whole get together and hit it together
That's okay.
simultaneously. Yeah,
Oh, no, it's all
it
good.
happens.
So it makes it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay.
in time for its turn.
Shit.
My bad.
That's all right.
I messed that up.
So it kind of sits up, like Undertaker style, just straight up sits up, and then uses its cane to get up. And you see its mouth open, and these like giant bug things, not like the stick bugs, just in general, like start flying out. 4 of them directly at Eva.
Fuck.
Okay, so you're gonna take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage as these things hit you and explode on impact.
What did you roll?
D4s.
I mean, was there no save against that?
No, magic missile doesn't have a save.
Oh, it's magic missile. Oh, fuck you, Juce.
Hey, I reskin a lot of my magic.
How much damage was that?
I forgot. What did I say? 13?
13.
Yeah.
Fuck right off.
As you get hit with that,
shit hurts.
This thing backs up into the darkness of the cave, out of sight.
No. Ouch.
And it is now Renmer's turn.
He's gonna kind of run next up to Eva. Just like he's not moving great right now, but he can still make his full movement.
Yeah.
Both swords kind of drawn, just kind of dragging one on the ground and just kind of up next to her and be like, "Where did it go?"
I think Eva, on taking that hit, probably took a knee. It didn't knock her out. It didn't, quite knock her prone, but 13's a lot of damage. And so, like, just kind of trying to, like, catch her breath and check herself over, she points towards the cave.
Are you all right?
I'm getting that. Go.
We should move.
Go.
And he just starts continuing to move, but his turn's over. So he uses his he dashed to get to Eva. So that's his turn.
Okay. We go up top to Garrick.
Okay, the very first thing I'm going to say is I want you all to be cautious. Never go charging into the lion's den. He knows that we're out here, he knows that we're coming, and he's probably been prepared for visitors. Don't do anything foolhardy. Let's prepare ourselves. How
Is Renmore still freaking out?
Yes, actually, because you've never snapped out of it. Yeah, you are still freaking out for sure.
Okay. How far away are we from town? Like, as the crow flies, if you could take the most direct route, like.
Let's see.
Say we're 20 miles, 30 miles.
Each hex is 10 miles. So that should answer for you, I guess. I'd have to look up how far a bird can fly in a day, according to the rules of travel in here. But
So like 70 miles. I mean, I'd assume birds flying 30 miles an hour, so it could be a couple of hours.
right.
I mean, I'm assuming it's flying at
I would
least
say
30
a
miles an
full
hour. I don't
day,
know.
probably, assuming it's flying direct. Maybe upwards of a 8-hour day, probably.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm more surprised or disappointed that nobody said the joke.
Yeah, the airspeed velocity of the Unladen parrot.
Unladen
I was
Kraken.
I
going
don't
to,
know that
but
joke.
I thought it was going to be too much.
It's a Monty Python. It's a Monty
Oh,
Python
okay.
reference. You know
I've
what?
only
That
seen it
should be the name of the episode.
What's the airspeed velocity of an Unladen Kraken?
Yeah.
Remind me after the episode so I can.
I'm putting it in the Discord
Okay.
right now.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so what I will do is I will tell Kraken to relay this message, and I will relay a single message that Kraken can repeat perfectly because of his mimicry to both the, let's say, Renmer's father and Ava's father. I will have him go to the town and try to locate both of them and give them a message to tell him that we are in the never-ending swamps at a cave. We've encountered a druidic lich, and we're wounded, but we're fighting him off. And any support that they could offer would be greatly appreciated. And if we die, we died fighting. And I send him off to give that message to both of them. Unless that's okay with everybody. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's send him off to go deliver that message to him as quickly as he can.
All right.
And I tell Kraken that you've been a loyal friend, and I hope to see you in the morning.
And
he comes
Kraken,
back like this.
As he spreads his wings, says, "Just live," and flies away.
Okay.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
May I suggest giving us a chance to catch our breath before we go into the cave?
I'd like to be able to let them take a rest and myself take a rest. I would not advise maybe taking the rest in front of the cave.
No.
Maybe just like.
But
okay.
Back to the trees.
Or at least around the face of the cave, someplace where we're not within sight, but all together.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it's not that far, climb up on top of the cave. So if something comes walking out, we would see it from above.
Okay. So you want to try and climb the hilly rocks a little bit?
Yeah, just move around it and see if we can get up there just a little ways. If it doesn't look like it's going to be dangerous, I mean, if we're going to be dangerous,
it looks possible. As you start to do that, you do see kind of up a little bit further up on the hill, mountainish thing. There's a very large opening up there too, and it looks like to try and climb there would be near impossible. It's just too rocky. But unless you got climbing gear. But you see that, and as you look down off to the side, like you can see more swamp, and you can in the distance, because I would say you probably get up a good height to kind of get clear of the entrance. You can see roughly off to the side, like where the road is, but it's a ways away still. I mean, it's not like it's right here. Okay. And you can see all the mud that you would have to track through to get there. In the other direction, you can see too where it goes from like swamp to mud, and then you see the forest as well.
So here's what I would suggest. As soon as we are rested up, we should try to make a signal that can be seen from here. Does anyone have anything that is
Well,
colorful, like colorful cloth or something that we could hang? Something that would
Oh.
make it maybe stand out or be seen from that road?
I don't think I packed my really fancy clothes.
Ah, no fancy clothes.
I didn't pack the fancy clothes.
I left mine on the ship, so.
I'm
Okay.
pretty
I was
sure
gonna
that's. I'm
say,
pretty
we
sure
did
that's
have
all I
that
ever
smoke
wear.
signal. Like, we already put all that smoke in the air. Is that still in the air?
Yes, you can see where that was
Yeah.
as well.
But that
Renmer got a little
burned.
happy
That
with
would
the wet wood over there,
Let's-
and it's still burning.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna try to recover a spell slot,
Yeah, I'm gonna take a short rest.
and then let them heal up, and then we'll just keep while we're doing that. We'll try to keep an eye on it. Meek,
Okay.
do you have anything that you need to recover right now?
I can't really recover stuff, but I'll get my, what is it? I do get my favored by the gods back, so I'll still
Okay.
chill with you guys.
Okay.
I'm back to max HP.
Hmm.
And
Watching the cave mouth over the course of the hour, you don't see any activity. Nothing coming in, nothing going out. You do hear from up the hill a loud screeching sound, possibly coming from that hole. Extremely loud.
Coming down from combat and taking an hour, do I get another chance to shake the sphere?
Yep, you could try to do that.
All right, let's give it a roll.
Thanks for reminding me. I forgot again.
You have your
I'm going to use
inspiration
my
still?
inspiration advantage on this one.
Okay.
All right. I canceled out a -1 and got a 17.
So you're
Nice.
finally able to shake it. But as you shake it and you start to come to your senses, you're like, what in the world is this thing that we've been fighting?
What is this? What is this thing?
Did anything ever climb out of it?
No. You're talking about the thing
we
that
killed
is
or
in the cave?
The Druid Lich. Because I was talking about the Druid Lich.
I was talking about the thing that we fought first.
No, he killed that when he put the knife through or the sword through the eye.
Yeah,
Yep. No,
Yeah,
nothing
it's-
crawled out of it.
good.
Yeah.
Fuck
That's
that.
kinda
There was
what I
no
was
blood
figuring.
though. Every time you guys did damage to it, no blood came out of it.
The fuck?
It was basically a corpse, a host corpse at that
Oh.
point. And it had been dead for a long time.
What is this
Nasty.
thing in the cave? Has anyone seen anything like that?
My dreams.
I
Literally.
love that response.
I
dream of this.
I think
have-
I think at that
You're very
Eva would
odd
kind of
dream.
look at her and just be like,
I would-
I'm sorry, what?
I would likely count that as a nightmare, but whatever does it for you.
Yeah.
In my dreams. I'm sorry?
You guys would remember too that she had mentioned the creature from before looked like this.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and it's probably very along the lines of her description. So
What is it?
okay, I will tell them what I know. It might not be that much, but I'll tell them what I know. At least, at the very least, assuming if it's a lich, it's undead. So things that work traditionally on other creatures might not be as effective. So keep that in mind.
I'll look at my hand that got cut. Does anything seem weird about it?
Ooh, good question. No. But I like the train of thought, so you're gonna get another bit of inspiration there.
Thank you.
I was tempted to use that against you, but yeah. But
I wouldn't be mad.
So before we go in there, we should see if we can set another fire here that would be visible from the road. A big smoking fire.
Okay. What are you
and
guys gonna
then-
try and burn?
whatever branches and stuff we can get here. I've got a big thing of hemp rope.
Okay,
We
you can
could,
burn the rope.
We could use the hemp rope and whatever other branches and brush and some wet wood that we can get on there to make it nice and smoky.
Mhm.
Okay.
Bye hemp rope.
Do the undead fear fire?
As far as I know,
Nope.
they're too dead to care.
Will the smoke inhibit its breathing?
I don't think
they don't
dead things
breathe.
breathe.
No. So
Yeah.
we are only lighting this for a signal.
We're lighting this for a signal so it can be seen from the road.
And
And I still
Okay.
have my silken rope.
Yeah, we don't want to burn that.
No, I'll
Okay.
keep that one. That hemp rope's been weighing me down though.
All
this
right.
thing is likely preparing for us. We should likely attack sooner rather than later.
Well, it's good to see that you've gotten your legs back. You're a little bit quivery back there, but I can understand why. That's no small foe to trifle with. So
We should be cautious, but
we should be very cautious.
we should begin to we should make it start reacting to us.
Agreed.
What can we do to the mouth of that cave or to make it safer to enter? I don't have any spells, so.
I've got no idea what we can do to make it safer to enter.
Do we have anything that could cover us, or like what like? I mean, if needs be, I can just run in and take the first shot, but I'd rather not.
I'm gonna try something that might not work, but I'm just curious now.
Okay.
Cause are we on like top of the cave?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Out of sight
like,
of the mouth, pretty much.
Okay, I'm gonna like focus in the cave, and try to send a message to the Lich Druid if it's within 120 feet.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, like, what's your deal? Like, why are you like showing up, taking my blood?
As soon as you do this,
Make, are you sure that's such a good idea?
make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh, god damn it.
Sorry, I just really wanted to see if that was gonna work.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna use my inspiration advantage.
As you
Okay.
fucking should.
So, -1 makes it an 18.
Okay, so you feel a sharp, searing pain from your hand where the scratch was before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unbearable. You don't take any hit points of damage. However, the wound does start to look fresh, as though you were just cut within the last day, even though it was a couple days ago and it pretty much healed before.
This guy's a dick. Can I show my hand?
What about that globe we found earlier? Could we use that to potentially make?
We can. Daylight can be especially useful to things that fear to tread in the light of the day. As you notice, it did not want to leave the cave. So we can try that, but we'll have to try that when we get him in a place where he can't escape. We'll need to get him backed into a corner to use it.
Well, then let us proceed.
Do I know anything about the wound by any chance that she has where he can just reopen it like that?
No, you wouldn't know anything about it.
Okay.
I mean, you knew she had a cut in her hand, but that's about it.
Right. All right. All right. Well, everyone, if you're feeling healed up, we should I guess we should make our way in.
I mean, like, there's no chance I'm stealthing in. Can I like hang down and drop into the mouth of the cave?
Sure, it's 8 feet. You could probably even tumble down and land on your feet while still
Athletics
holding the top.
or acrobatics?
No, it's you're a natural, man.
Okay.
No worries. There's no chance of failure.
Swords out.
All right.
I
I'll jump right in after him.
I popped a hit dice earlier, but I'm still down a hit point. So I think just as we're talking about it and prepping about it, like wherever I got hit, there's just that one little bit that's left, I think. So like I'll remembering what I did the night before, I'm gonna like put my hand on it and just like drag it across, and everything's cool. And I still don't know how I did it, but apparently that's a thing. So I'll ask questions later.
So when you guys do this and you see into the cave, you can see what looks, it's really the only sign of life you've seen in, the last day pretty much. There's vines that looks like plant vines all over the ground of this cave and the walls of the cave. The ceiling, the whole interior just looks like vines and roots.
Ooh. I point those out and I say I don't know a lot about druids, but their ability to make plant life troublesome is a concern. So,
Meek, would you test how they react to fire?
Sure. You want me to throw fire in there?
At one of the vines.
Yeet that fireball.
Okay. I'll cast Firebolt.
Oh, okay.
I don't have Fireball.
Damn it.
Or I would.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I'm gonna have to at this point now when I can.
Yeah.
Or little pyro.
Yeah.
So you firebolt one. Okay, go for it. I mean, even if you miss, you're hitting one of them. So you don't even have to roll.
Okay.
So when you hit, you see the vines slither around kind of like a snake and move. And the ones that got hit kind of hide themselves and burrow behind other ones.
How many vines are there?
The whole thing, the whole mouth and like the walls are just covered. You can't even see like dirt or rock.
Is there are they all like to a central point, or is it just all over the place?
It's chaos. Yeah.
I'm going to take out my flask of oil and just kind of like try to make us a path with oil.
Okay.
And then just kind of make it like ladies first motion to Meek.
Basically just fire out of my hand.
Okay. How effectively is that clearing out the vines?
It's like hairspraying a lighter,
With the
except
fire,
it's just
it
hairspraying
does.
your hand.
So the vines that catch on fire, you see other vines like kind of try to come over it to engulf and put the fire out. But then they get burnt and it clears up some room. You can see the ground for a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't last very long, though.
In your estimate, how long would it take us to try to clear the vines this way? I mean, does it
From
seem
what
like
you
a
can
viable
see,
tactic?
Probably
if
not.
If she and I both are doing this.
You guys probably wouldn't have the resources to do it to the whole cave.
Okay.
I'm trying to imagine like if you had a tree in your yard and the roots were exposed, how easy would it be to burn the roots down? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It would be really difficult, I would say.
How about if I came walking in with burning hands? Do you think I could do enough damage to everything around me to make that a viable tactic?
Because burning hands that's not like a touch spell. That's
a cone
of fire.
Yeah.
It's
like
how long does it
breath.
last? It's just a single action, right?
It's a single round. Yeah. So.
Is it a cantrip?
Nope, it's a spell.
First level.
I'd have to burn up one of my spells to do it. Second level. Oh no, yeah, first level.
How much damage does it do?
3d6.
It would do the trick. It would definitely repel stuff. That would probably clear the path. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I can do that. Doing that's gonna
What's the range on it?
I want to say it's a 15-foot cone.
Yeah.
So that would probably, I would say 2 turns of that would probably get you to the first bend in the cave.
That's a lot of spell slots.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot of spells.
How many spell slots do you have?
Right now, I think 2. Yeah,
Oof,
I had
yeah.
one. I used one for that Tasha's, which I
Mhm.
recovered, but I had what was it? I used I think I used mage armor during our fight previously.
Are we still in the same?
And
We're
we
still in
saw
the same day as our fight at the carts, right?
still on the same day. I haven't recovered.
Yeah.
I have only able to recover 1 spell slot, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like going in there without any spells.
Yeah.
So.
Use the one, and then we'll get close, and we can.
You guys are probably getting
just-
around like dinner time, just for reference.
Just for giggles, let's pull out the drift globe and have it shed light. Not don't want to use up the daylight, but have it
Sure.
shed light and see if that has any effect on them.
Okay. So you light up the cave with the drift globe. It does not appear to do anything. The vines and everything just kind of stay put. They kind of cover the damaged ones from the fire bolts, things like that. But yeah, no, you don't see. They're not acting any differently.
Okay.
In fact,
Well.
most of them are not even moving.
All right. I guess I mean just.
And you
spend a
guys are
minute-
probably only a couple feet away from them. I mean, you would think if they like wanted to extend and wrap around you right the second they could, but they're not making any harmful gestures at you.
Okay. Well, Venus flytrap makes no harmful gestures until
Until you
it
get
has
to the
its
mouth.
fly in its maw.
Mm,
So.
that's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess we step back and let the ones with swords start cutting stuff down then.
Yeah, fuck. Let me go take a slice at one.
Okay. So you're gonna step into it and then try to stab one or
Wait,
cut it.
does this seem like it's all part of one system, like one creature?
They all look roughly the same size. They're all like maybe the about as wide around as like Renmer's arm.
Okay.
They're pretty big.
But they look like they're roots from some, like they're all individual roots of some larger creature or something.
Yeah, they look like roots from plants.
Okay.
You know, they look like they're from a tree.
Or yeah, it's larger plant or something like that.
Yep.
Do I see any large trees around here? Anything on the
Nope.
surface that would imply that?
Nope.
Okay.
No, in fact, like I said before, there's like no life within, 90 to 120 feet of this cave in general.
Okay.
No trees or shrubbery or anything.
What if I do this? Let's try Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
It would have to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
But I don't know that plants have a wisdom, and otherwise it just takes necrotic damage.
Okay. You want to roll damage? I mean, you wouldn't know if it necessarily takes damage, but
Is it something that has been damaged yet?
yeah, you guys burned it.
Okay. So 11 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do I see anything happening? Do I see the vines wilting and withering, anything like that?
Yeah, so where you cast the spell, it looks like the root there shrivels and dries out in like a small area.
Okay.
Looks like it becomes like an open sore on a root.
Ugh.
Okay.
And then you see another root kind of cover it, and that one disappear behind a few.
Okay. I'm gonna try just keep concentrating on that one area until no roots keep coming out over it. Just keep blasting it with necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I'll try to keep that up. I'll ask the others to keep an eye down the cave to make sure that we're not missing anything. But until then, I'm just going to keep blasting away at the thing, see if I can get them to give up or start pulling back a little.
Okay. How long are you going to be doing this for, roughly, you think?
2 minutes. I mean,
Okay.
not a
And
long
Eva's
time, but
slashing at roots, right?
Yeah, I'll go ahead
Yeah,
and
I'll
do
help
that.
out,
I'm
too.
gonna
Renmer
use
is too.
use my use one of my inspirations.
Okay.
So that'll be an 18 to hit.
Okay. They're pretty easy to hit because they're not like moving.
Yeah.
Other than when they're after they're hit and hurt.
And 9 damage.
But after you guys start slashing these for a while, Renmer and Eva, you guys give me dex saves.
Dex saves? Yikes.
Fuck.
Ruh-roh.
I mean, I'll be fine. I don't know about you.
I rolled a 14.
19.
14 and a 19. Okay, so the 19 definitely makes it. So one of these roots grabs you and tries to pull you in, but you're able to shrug it off. 14 does not do it.
Damn it.
So you feel it grab you. Now give me an athletics check to pull away from it.
Happily.
Mage hand, grab a hold of the vine.
I'm good. 22.
Oh, yeah, you're
okay.
fine.
So you're able to shrug that off, but it still has you wrapped. Garrick, what were you doing? You were mage handing it?
I was gonna mage hand to like grab a hold of the vine. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to basically make it a little bit more difficult for it to keep a hold of it.
Okay.
Athletics checks I can handle.
Yeah. All right. So you're able to pull away from it. You see that after continuous attacks on the vines, they're starting to act up. They're moving a little more. They're trying to reach out at you. And you see at the bend, something starts to wiggle its way through the vines on the wall. And as this happens, we will end the session right there.
Oh.
Ah.
Ooh, man. I'm glad we took the short rest because that's gonna help. But man, I feel like the party's running on fumes at this point.
So that was fun. I'm enjoying this. There's a lot of things I just didn't expect. So I love it when games go like this, where it's like I write these different notes and I think it's going one way and it does not at all. So I'm digging it. Let's let everyone say goodbye and then we'll go off stream. Let's start with Garrick. Anything you want to plug or?
No, Calloused on Twitch. That's pretty much it.
All right, and Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Eva Cornelius.
Hey guys, I'm Cornelius on Twitch and on Twitter. I'm here on Wednesday nights and on Mondays. Looks like I'm gonna be a long-running member on Salt and Sassy stream, The Watering Party. It's been 2 sessions. It's been utter bullshit and shenanigans, and just I'm ready. I am ready. This, and of course it's nice because it's with a bunch of really close friends and that kind of thing. So like we all just kind of feed off each other anyway. So like I knew it was gonna be kind of weird, or not weird, but I knew it was gonna be goofy. But god damn it, like episode 2 was just madness, utter madness. That's kind of all I do that's kind of all I do. I don't really have a schedule for Twitch. I just kind of do it whenever. So
is that just your 2 games? So you got this one and that one?
Yes, and then I play at a local. I play at a local game store on Thursdays.
Nice, cool.
Shout out! I don't. You're in it. The charity stream for Unmade Gaming. I don't know the date off the top of my head.
This Saturday, it's the 28th.
Okay, this Saturday. So
yep. So
that starts. Yeah, that starts at 10 a.m. Eastern and goes to 10 p.m. Eastern because that madman does 12 hours of TTRPGs for charity. Yeah, we're raising money for Extra Life. That money goes to children's hospitals because, as Mike says, sick kids are gross. That's always his tag for it. Sick kids are gross. So that's happening this weekend.
So yeah, I was gonna say, so Unmade Gaming this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. I am playing in the 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. game. So if you think about it, head on over there, follow it today, subscribe to it today, watch it on Saturday, donate to Extra Life. Mike is an awesome guy. I love that he gives his time for this pretty regularly. He does quite a bit for this.
We do this once a month.
Yep, he deserves all the support here, and let's see if we can get those numbers up higher than usual. With that, let's jump over to Lady Tiefling. I know she's got some stuff coming up.
Yeah, you can find me at Lady Tiefling, and if you go to my Twitch, which is also Lady Tiefling, I'm starting up a Descent into Avernus stream. I've got some great players that are going to be joining me doing that. I don't have a set time yet, but I think it's going to be on Sundays. But just follow me on stuff, and I'll keep you updated. So, that's
speaking of Descent into Avernus, I can't say much yet, but I have a Descent into Avernus game coming up as well. Mine will be in person, that we are going to stream once a month for about 4 hours. And I think on the weeks we're not doing it, I might do one-shots on Saturday nights with people. Maybe not every Saturday, maybe, give myself a week in between Descent into Avernus and that. So if you guys are interested in playing in one-shots, whether you're in this game right now or you guys are watching this, head on over to my Discord. I will get links in the info section here on Twitch. So you can do that. And maybe you can get into some one-shots as well. Won't always be D&D, just so you guys know. But and hopefully next week I can announce my players of Descent into Avernus. I've locked them down. I'm excited about them, but I'm going to keep it hush-hush for at least another week. But yeah. Is there anything else, Tiefling?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right. And then our happy camper over here, Grant, TP Grant, Tom.
My Twitter handle is at TP_Grant. I mostly talk about grappling competitions and tabletop gaming, and this weekend's probably gonna be all grappling competitions. One of the biggest grappling competitions in the world is happening this weekend. I'm gonna be watching excitedly. I also recently appeared on my buddy's podcast, the Grapple Reunion, talking about strangling people for fun and also hitting people with swords. So
weren't you made fun of too on there?
Oh, of course. Like this guy is like one of my best friends. We just absolutely love giving each other shit. If you want the first literally in the first 10 seconds, I lose my shit over the fact that I have the writing of an illiterate third grader. My handwriting is terrible. So if you want to hear me get really upset about that, and then talk about the ways that apparently me and my friends, the way we hang out is twisting each other's limbs off, and we talk about that for a while.
I was gonna say, don't forget to mention that podcast you're
Oh
on.
no,
I haven't listened to it yet, but
not my first rodeo with that, so it was a lot of fun. And yeah, that's mainly my weekend's gonna be all combative cuddling.
Combative cuddling. I am Juce, and I approve this message.
Oh my god.
So that's it. We are the Forgotten Throne campaign. These are my players, and go support them. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure they would. And that's it. So game on. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.